A Biafran Liberation Army commander from Aludo state addresses his men, stating they will unite with other forces to fight against those terrorizing their people, including Fulani herdsmen. The commander thanks the United State of Biafra government, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, and the Secretary of Defense for their support in the struggle for an independent Biafra. He declares their forces are prepared and determined to fight the Nigerian government, referred to as the zoo. People in Imo State are reportedly returning to their farmlands, particularly for palm fruit harvesting, despite past conflicts with Fulani herdsmen. Meanwhile, a critic have criticized the Nigerian leaders, particularly for allowing Sheikh Gumi, a known Islamic negotiator with terrorists, to operate freely while detaining pro-Biafra leaders. Sheikh Gumi is accused of advising the Nigerian government to use ethnic groups against each other, worsening internal conflicts in Biafra. He condemns the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, ipob, and accuses the government of unfairly targeting him. He calls for Biafrans to resist oppression and fight for their freedom, using every means necessary, vowing not to stop until independence is achieved. There is discussion about certain figures allegedly working against the Biafran cause, including accusations of misinformation and betrayal within the movement. He urges Biafrans to stay united, avoid misinterpreting statements from leaders, and continue supporting the independence struggle. In a dramatic turn of events that has captured the attention of many who follow the struggle for Biafran independence, a new commander of the Biafran Liberation Army recently saluted Ngozi Orabueze, a respected and prominent figure among the ground troops. This salute was not just a simple gesture, but a powerful acknowledgement of the bravery and effectiveness of the soldiers who managed to overpower segments of the Nigerian army in a fierce and hard-fought battle. The commander, representing the branch of the Biafran Liberation Army based in Aludo State, delivered a heartfelt and resolute message to his men. In his address, he promised that they would soon unite with other like-minded commanders and forces to confront those who had long terrorized their communities. Among the targets of their collective anger were the Fulani herdsmen, whose actions had repeatedly disrupted the lives and livelihoods of local people. The commander's speech was rich with emotion and determination. He began by expressing deep gratitude toward the United States of Biafra government, an organization that had been providing crucial support to the independence movement. He specifically acknowledged the contributions of Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and the Secretary of Defense, whose efforts and guidance had helped shape the resolve of the Biafran fighters. His words underscored a firm belief that the support from these leaders and institutions was vital to the cause. He made it clear that his forces were not only prepared, but also more determined than ever to stand up against the Nigerian government, a government he disparagingly referred to as the zoo. This label, chosen to emphasize what he saw as the chaotic and disorganized nature of the Nigerian state, was meant to signal that the government's mismanagement and neglect had left little room for compassion when it came to the treatment of the Biafran people. In the same address, the commander noted that, despite the continuous threat posed by the Fulani herdsmen, the people in Imo State had begun returning to their farmlands. Many of these residents were seen heading out to harvest palm fruits, a return to agricultural practices that had long been disrupted by conflict. This movement back to the land was symbolic. It represented not only a practical step towards self-sufficiency, but also a powerful act of resistance against forces that had tried to destabilize the community. For these farmers, their land was more than just a source of income. It was an essential part of their identity and cultural heritage, a foundation upon which they could rebuild their lives in the face of adversity. Adding another layer to this complex situation was the commentary from a vocal critic of the Nigerian government. This critic did not hesitate to express a deep-seated dissatisfaction with the way the Nigerian leaders had handled matters concerning the independence movement. One of the focal points of the criticism was Sheikh Gumi, a well-known Islamic negotiator with ties to terrorist elements. According to the critic, Sheikh Gumi had been given too much freedom to operate, even as pro-Biafra leaders remained detained. The critic went on to accuse Sheikh Gumi of advising the Nigerian government to manipulate ethnic divisions, thereby deepening the internal conflicts within Biafra. In his view, this strategy was not only harmful, but served to undermine any genuine efforts toward achieving independence. Furthermore, the critic condemned the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, arguing that such measures were emblematic of a broader biased approach by the Nigerian government against those advocating for Biafran independence. Throughout the address, the commander and the critic alike spoke with a tone that was both personal and unapologetically direct. The commander's call to arms was not merely a declaration of military readiness, but also a passionate appeal for unity among the Biafran people. He urged his men to rise above internal divisions and to remain steadfast in the face of what they saw as systematic oppression. The message was clear. The struggle for an independent Biafra was a long and arduous battle that required every ounce of courage and resolve. His words resonated deeply with many who had long felt marginalized and oppressed under a government that they believed was indifferent to their plight. The video report that has been widely shared online, which features the commander's stirring address, also provides a glimpse into the broader context of the conflict. In the video, the commander explains how his troops had recently engaged in a significant battle that resulted in the Nigerian army losing ground. He emphasizes that this victory was not just a military achievement, but also a symbolic moment that underscored the resilience of the Biafran fighters. The commander's explicit salute to Ngozi Orabueze during this moment of triumph was a gesture of profound respect and recognition. It highlighted not only the individual courage of Ngozi Orabueze, but also the collective spirit of the soldiers who had come together to defend their homeland. At the same time, the narrative unfolding in this region is far from one-dimensional. The issues being raised by the commander and his supporters extend beyond the battlefield. They touch on broader concerns about leadership, justice, and the use of power. The critic's sharp observations regarding Sheikh Gumi's role and the detention of Nnamdi Kanu serve as a reminder that the struggle for independence is deeply intertwined with political maneuvers and questions of fairness. Many within the Biafran community have come to view these controversies as further evidence of a government that was more interested in maintaining its grip on power than in addressing the legitimate aspirations of its people.
Biafrans, this is Commander from Aludo Command, that is Aludo State, in Biafran land. He is here telling guys of what he is going to do with his men, that very soon they are going to join hands with other commanders to make sure that they dealt with the Asarudo Kubo boys or the Musa boys that has been terrorizing or disturbing the Biafran people, including the Fulani herdsmen. So here he is thanking all the USB government, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze and her team, and every other government, Mazin Kanu, Simon Ekpa, and the rest of them, telling them that they get men, that men will surely make sure that Biafra is being liberated and have a nation of its own.
The USB government, United States of Biafra, I know our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Onye dịka Ngozi Orabueze, the Vice Prime Minister. Anyị na-ekelekwe the Secretary of Defense, Engineer Solomon Nkwocha. Anyị na-ekelekwe the Executive Governor of Aludo State. Anyị na-asị mma mma dịrị gị. Anyị na-ekelekwe maazị onye dị USB ji na-arụ ọrụ nyere ndị Defense Office, Aludo Command. Na-asị na ozi ọbụla eziri anwụrụ ọkụ anyị nwụrụ ọkụ na ọ na-eru eluigwe ntị. Anyị na-asị ndị USB, United States of Biafra Government, unu jidekwa ka unu ji. Mana nke unu na-eme, unu ha yikwuo the volume maka na men na ọmụnwa bụ Commander Elu gburu ọjị Aludo Command. Anyị sị na ụjọ adịghị ha n'ihi na mbọchị a mụrụ dike na mba ka a mụrụ ibe ya. N'afọ anaghị atụ ụjọ okpoti ihu. We are ever ready. We are ever good to go. We are ever formidable. Whatever the zoo needs is what we are going to give to them. We must fall the zoo. Heavy duty artillery. Heavy duty artillery. Ahead. We move.
Read them. Nakana. Nakana, men mount. Men the road so. Nakana. Kai.
So the people from Overpower community, that is in Owerri, Imo State, ran straight to their farmland to go and harvest palm fruits. You know, Fulani herdsmen has been disturbing that area, but it seems that there has been a negotiation, or I can't actually say what happened, that made them to troop out like this, straight heading to their farmland to harvest palm fruits. That is the situation we have found ourselves in Biafra land after the kidnap of Mazin and Bekalo, after the arrest of Simon Epa.
Actually, got found some palm fruits. And a bunko, and a bunko, Jesus. The whole village now give bunko. Lekweha. See them. Lekweha. Chineke may have a shower she won't go to village. No be small thing. Oh, very
Good morning to you all, Biafrans. I must thank you all, and I must appreciate you for standing tall with the United States of Biafrans. Most of you that are here, I just want you to understand that I will always come here to tell you nothing but the truth and to give you the gist the way it is. And then please, like for those of you who are following Madam Ngozi Orabueze, I would like you to continue to do so, because that is the right government and there is no other government apart from USB. Any other government is fraud and false. So today I want to show you the president of Nigerian son sitting with a terrorist. Now, most of you know who Gumi is. Gumi is the man that first of all said that give Igbos gun to kill ipob. Give Igbos gun to kill ipob. What does that mean? Give Igbos gun to kill Igbos. That's what it means. This is the same man who goes as far as negotiating with the terrorists in the forest to release the people that they have gone to kidnap in villages. And this same man goes back to the government, presidents, governors, and liaise with them for how much they are going to give to these terrorists in their forest. Now, why I call the Tinubu's administration terrorists is for this reason. You cannot have a terrorist negotiator around you and then you turn around to call the Igbos terrorists. So Biafrans, I want you to understand that whatever these people are doing, we are watching them with our two eyes.
So Stephen Cross here is very annoyed with President Tinubu's son, because he is here sitting with Gumi. Gumi is a chief negotiator of the terrorists or the bandits or whatever you can call them. Gumi is the one that advised the federal government to use Igbos to fight Igbos, and that's exactly what they are doing right now in Biafran land. They are using Igbos to fight Igbos. So in other words, we are killing ourselves. Is that supposed to be? No. Stephen Cross here has exposed the hidden truths of what is going on in the country Nigeria, how they has conspired to make sure that they finish Biafrans and take over what belongs to them. And wow, may God help us here.
In our land and kill our people and go scot-free. It will never happen again. Now, I'm going to show you the video of our what is he called? Illegitimate president's son sitting with a terrorist negotiator. A man that goes to the forest to negotiate with terrorists. A man that goes there and sits with the terrorists and come and negotiate with them. There were some girls that they arrested in Chibok, and this man was their intermediary within the terrorists and the government, and now is working freely. Why our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who stood his ground on getting Biafra, is being kidnapped from Kenya and detained illegally in DSSS facility. Today, what is happening? All the people that are talking rubbish about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that if Mazi Simon Ekpa does not cease fire, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been out. Bianco Onowu came out, or Ojukwu came out and said, oh, the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not been released is because of the activities of Simon Ekpa. Now Simon Ekpa is no more in the picture. What is happening? The Nigerian terrorist government are looking for every avenue to nail, to jail, and to even kill our supreme leader. But God will not allow that to happen. And we will fight Nigeria with everything we've got. Everything we've got. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not released, we don't care what you people are thinking. We don't care what you believe in. We will fight Nigeria like never before. We are not threatening the country. We are not threatening the sovereign nation. But you know that you Nigerian government are in a sovereign nation killing our people, and we said enough is enough. We will rise to the occasion, and you will see how determined we are to leave that contraction called Nigeria. If you know what is good for you, allow the Igbos to go. So watch this video.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our August Bishop has...
So this is Biafran Liberation Army versus the Ebubagu guys. It means that the Ebubagu guys ran away and they met with the Biafran Liberation Army. So guys, not this small thing where that happened for Biafran land, but God will surely save us.
Because of loud, because of Abagomuto Hakuna, Yota, and also.
Said, Ugo 247 said, if Gentle Yahoo knows that he has not received any money from the government of Madam Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, that he should come out and swear. These were just very, calculated words. You are quoting Ugo 247 out of context. Most of you are quoting this young man out of context. That was what not he said. That wasn't what he said. What he said is exactly what I am telling you. He said, if Gen 2 knows that he has not received money from the government of Madam Ngozi Orabueze, he should come and swear. Gen 2 came out and started saying a different thing. I don't want to think that this is what I am thinking, that Gen 2 is working with Ogenkiri, and then Ogenkiri is now, you know, somehow trying to, you know, make him to come and start talking against USB. If you people claim that you love Mazi Simon Ekpa, do your job. Mazi Simon Ekpa will soon be out. Do your job. Mazi Simon Ekpa will soon be out. So there is no need for all these your shenanigans coming on the on social media to put it out. There is no need for that. Do your job, and we, the Biafrans, we fight for you people. You are not the one to fight and then come out to threaten the government. It doesn't matter who you are. You are just one person, Mr. Gentle. So Biafrans, go back and listen to what Ugo 247 said. Please stop quoting him out of context. It is not good. Go back to his videos and listen attentively. Bless you all.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.